So today we're going to move on to something called ratios. We have been working on ratios with our 5 a day in the morning, so hopefully this will be a little bit of a review. You can see on the screen it says a ratio is a comparison of two quantities. So if you would go ahead and write that down, a comparison of two quantities. That means two separate things. Two separate things. When we look at two different quantities, we look at two different numbers. We might have a number might be like this. 2 to 7. We could also write the ratio 2 to 7 this way. Or we could also write a ratio as a fraction, which would be like this, 2 to 7. Okay? Two different quantities. We can compare lots of different things. We're going to look at some of those examples today. If you need to pause the video so that you can get this written down, please do so. All right, so let me get the book up here so we can see. So I'd like to look at comparing some iced tea to lemonade. Okay, a ratio, remember, is comparing two quantities. It says here we have a ratio of iced tea to lemonade is 3 to 1. Okay, 3 to 1. So I would write my ratio like this. 3 to 1. All right. Well, it says if I would add 1 cup of iced tea and 1 cup of lemonade to the mixture. So I'd add 1 more here and 1 more here. So that would make a ratio of 4 to 2. A ratio of 4 to 2. Okay, two different ratios. Does this change the taste of the mixture? Would the lemonade iced tea mix taste the same? Well, if you notice, according to my ratio, they're not really what we would call equivalent ratios. So for example, 3 to 1 does not equal 4 over 2. This ratio, after learning how to simplify fractions, reduces to 2 over 1, and the answer 2 over 1 is not the same as 3 over 1. So let's go back to our iced tea picture here. It says, describe how you could make larger amounts without changing the taste. So if I don't want the taste to change, I want it to be the same. Well, my first one would be, I have here 3 to 1, right? What if I would take the iced tea mix and I would just double it? I would double this, so instead of doing 3 iced tea, I would do 6. And if I doubled the iced tea, then I'd have to double what I did for the lemonade, so that would be 2. Let's see here. 3 to 1, is that equivalent to 6 over 2? Well, after simplifying fractions, we know that if we would make our ladder like this, 2 goes into both. 3 times. 2 goes into 2. 3 to 1. 3 to 1. These two are what we call equivalent ratios. Well, if I went 3 to 1, 6 to 2, what if I added 3 more iced teas? How many lemonades would I need? I would need a total of 3. So I have made 3 to 1, which is equivalent to 6 to 2, which is equivalent to 9 to 3, and we could keep going and making more and more equivalent ratios. All right, so let's go back here to our notes. So we left off here. What I'd like for you to add is that ratios can be part to part, they can be part to whole, or they can be whole to part. 3 different ways that we can write ratios. Go ahead and write down those 3 things in your notes, please. All right, if you need to pause so that you can finish, please do so. All right, so I have a picture here on our screen of some cats and dogs. If I would say, and I want you to go ahead and write, you don't have to make a picture of cats and dogs, but I want you to go ahead and write the ratios down. I could say that there are 2 cats to 6 dogs. What I have now is I have a ratio of part of the group to part of the group. Now, if I wanted to, I could even look at this ratio 2 to 6, and I could actually reduce that 2 to 6. Some of us remember how to simplify, and we could say, well, I could simplify that saying, actually, for every 1 cat, there are 3 dogs. This would be an equivalent or simplified ratio. All right, well, let's look at our picture here once again. What if I wanted to change it and I would want to do a part to whole? Part. Well, part of the group could be the 2 cats. 2 cats. And to the whole group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 8 total. Or we could say 8 total pets, 8 pets. That would be my part to whole. Some of us know that if I would want to simplify that 2 over 8, that would actually simplify to 1 cat, 2, 4 total. So I looked at this little ratio, or my little ratio here, 2 to 8, and I've simplified it like this to simplify and find an equivalent ratio. All right. Go ahead and pause your video if you need to write this down still. All right, so I have a picture of here of some coins. And the ratio I would like for you to look at after you look at my screen is I would like for you to give me a ratio of pennies to quarters. Pennies to quarters. So see if you can count them on your screen. Pennies to quarters. All right, so the ratio that you should have found is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 7 quarters. Now, if you gave me the answer 7 to 6, that would be incorrect because I asked for the pennies to be listed first and quarters to be listed second. So make sure you have your ratio in the correct order. All right, the next ratio I'd like for you to write in your notes is I'd like for you to look at my picture and write the ratio of quarters to dimes. All right, well, we already know that there's 7 quarters. That number comes first. Dimes, it looks like there are 3. So you should put the ratio 7 to 3. So far, what we've done is we've done part to part ratios. Part to part ratios. Remember, you may not put the ratio backwards. Quarters must be listed first because that's what's listed first in my statement. All right, last thing I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to look here at the picture of coins, and I'd like for you to write dimes to total coins, please. Dimes to total. Well, we found out earlier that there are 3 dimes. Total coins means we would have to count them all, and if you counted them all correctly, you should have found 16. This is a part, dimes are part of the group, to whole ratio. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and give you your assignment for today. Your assignment is on page 112. Page 112, and it's problems 1 through 16. We're going to do all of them. Don't forget, you can check your odd answers in the back of the book. And please make sure to do this. All right. Have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.